Right, performance appraisal. This stands out for me, guys, because we haven't seen this come up since 2019, okay? So make sure you mark this in. Is everybody with me here on this page 187? Be ruthless with your definition of performance appraisal, starting with the definition. Evaluating an employee's progress, contribution, and effectiveness at their job, okay? So make sure you mark that in there. So they ask you to define performance appraisal, evaluation, performance, progress, contribution, and effectiveness of an employee at their job. That's what you need to mark down for performance appraisal. If you write out in vague, like this, where the manager tells you, or the human resource manager tells you how you're getting on the job or how you're performing, you're not going to get many marks there. So make sure the definition at the very start, guys, that's they want you to have very well covered. Again, to bring this up, guys, this came up in 2008, 2010, then it was left off for 5 years, come up in 2015, then it was left off for 4 years, come up in 2019. Now again, we're looking at 5 years, okay? So if it doesn't come up this year, it's the longest they'd have ever left it off the course as a direct question since the syllabus came out 20 something years ago, okay? So it's just one of these ones. You'd be crazy going into your Leaving Cert not knowing this perfectly, okay? So let's just jump through it. Oh, here also I've marked in a few of the key words. Before you go anywhere, just make sure you mark those things down. The very top, like even if you're stuck on this and you're going through it there and you can't think of anything off the top of your head, just remember those words like targets, it's a face-to-face meeting. They're just a few words you're going to see popping up all over the place here. So the first thing here is with performance appraisal, the HR manager sets targets for the employees, then he evaluates how well they're performing, and this is all done by filling in a performance appraisal form. So basically you get targets, they evaluate it, and when they're evaluating your results, you get a performance appraisal form. The big thing to note here is if you perform really well, you get a promotion, you can get rewards. If you're not performing well, they'll flag it, and you might have to get extra training. But of course, if you continuously fail to hit your set targets, you can get fired, they can let go of you. So that is why it's so important for workers. And of course, you're going to have that in there. It's going to motivate the staff. But we'll get into all of that now. First question here is, what are the benefits of performance appraisal for the employer? Now, I need to stress this as well, right? Like this came up in 2019 as a 15-mark question. And so 15 marks, again, think about it. You do 15 marks divided by 5 means that 3 points are going to be wanted on this question. The only thing I would ask you guys is give at least 3. Try and load up and try and put in a 4th point. If it's for 15 marks, you know you've got 6 minutes to answer it. So just load up on it with as many points as you can, okay? Don't just leave it at the bare 3. Most students, when this came up, they put down 3 points, but one of the points wasn't getting the full marks. It might have been getting 2 marks out of 5, and then they're dropping very easy marks. So please just load up on this with extra points if it comes up in the Leaving Cert. So we're going down through it here. What's the importance of performance appraisal for management or for the employer? First thing there is identifies workers who are in due a promotion. Now the key thing here, guys, is it's so important for a business to spot their best workers, because your best workers are the people who are always going to be approached by other companies to leave and go work for them. So the first thing you're doing is you're identifying your top talent, and this ensures that you're holding on to them. So you can give them bonuses, and also when your best workers start to get that recognition, they're not going to leave because they'll see they're moving forward in the company, okay? You don't really need to, if you're running a business, you don't really need to worry about the workers who are below average getting poached. It's always the top workers that companies are going after. So you need to make sure you spot your top workers, give them bonuses, give them promotions before somebody else snaps them up, okay? Brilliant. Make sure you mark in those words, employee retention. I even put down there like share ownership. What I mean by that is like you can just give them shares in the business, and that's a great way of holding on to them as well. Next thing then, guys, it motivates your staff, okay, because they're getting recognition and they know as well they're getting rewards and their salaries can increase, and that's just a great way of increasing productivity. Another key thing of this whole process, guys, is it's two-way communication, because it's a face-to-face meeting, and this is going to create a better relationship between management and staff because they're giving feedback to each other. So just again, it's much better for the relations in the business that you have this performance appraisal. Because remember, again, these meetings might be every 3 months, but again, it's a chance for you to sit down with your manager. If your manager says, look, you're not hitting your targets here, you can explain why, and you might say, look, you need more support in this area, and that can actually turn out to be a very positive meeting. So that's just the whole point of this. And the last thing then as well is it's a chance then for management to set targets that can be agreed by employees and employers. And that's again, a key thing for motivating them for increasing productivity. The other thing then to look out for is they can also ask you what's the importance of performance appraisal for employees. Now I've written in there like Real Madrid, or I always even say to my students, like even me, my name is Ronan Murdoch. I'm an employee of this company, so what are the benefits for me of performance appraisal? So I just straight away go back to my initials. I'm like, right, why will I like performance appraisal, right? So straight away, it's a chance for you to get rewards because you're performing well, you hit your targets, you're going to get a bonus, so you're going to get monetary rewards, all right? So the monetary rewards there, again, that's going to lead to staff retention. Also, my relationship with management will improve because it's a face-to-face meeting. It's giving me a chance to discuss any issues that I have. It's a chance for me to give feedback to the managers. On top of that, it's just a source of motivation for me because I'm given targets, and that's going to drive me further. Because again, remember, happy workers are motivated. And another thing there is it's very good for morale because again, it makes me willing to work harder, more productive, again, when I'm in these meetings, because I just feel my work is being recognized. And even as you saw there with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your employees' esteem needs are being recognized. Because my manager, let's say, he comes in and says, look, Ron, we see how hard you're working, we're giving you a bonus, but on top of that, we're just very, very happy with your performance. And that's good for my esteem. I'm getting recognition. And that circles us back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Remember, the esteem needs here are being satisfied through recognition. Okay, so just that's the main thing there. The other one then is, are there any drawbacks of performance appraisal? Yeah, and the great one's just right in there is personal bias, because you could have one manager evaluating you, they might underrate you or they might overrate you, and that's one issue that can happen. And it's also can be very hard to measure certain qualities that employees will have, like teamwork and stuff like that. How good are they at working in pairs and in groups and stuff? That's very, very hard to quantify. So that's just another limitation of it. I'd be putting an arrow beside that. They've never asked that in the Leaving Cert, but it's a good little question for them to ask. So just keep an eye out for it. Brilliant. So you see there like a sample answer from 2019. Just have a read over it. Make sure you've got that loaded up with extra points. Make sure you're very, very strong there. And then also, just read it very carefully as well. Explain the reasons why management. So that's the benefits of performance appraisal for the manager. But if we look at it in 2015, outline the benefits of performance appraisal for employees. There they wanted the benefits for employees, and always just think back, Real Madrid or even my initials, Ronan Murdoch. I'm an employee in this business. What are the benefits for me of performance appraisal? Rewards, motivation, relationship with management, recognition, my esteem needs for motivation, all those things you can throw in there very, very quickly, okay? So that's fine. You've got a few little points there on that, but that's what I'd be looking out for.